Andy, listen to the man. He is about to say it.
Yeah, let's everybody listen.
Rinso, the new Rinso with Solium, brings you the Amos and Andy Show. The soap that contains Solium, the sunlight ingredient, brings you the Amos and Andy Show. A full half hour of entertainment with all the Amos and Andy characters, plus the Jubilaires and chorus.
Sing hallelujah, hallelujah.
F. Alexander and his orchestra. And now, Lever Brothers Company, the makers of Rinso, invite you to sit back, relax, and enjoy the story of Amos and Andy. A week ago, the Kingfisher's brother-in-law dropped over for dinner and has remained with him ever since. Ordinarily, the Kingfisher's attitude would change for having a trick like that played on him, but it hasn't. And now he has the same friendly feeling towards his brother-in-law that he has always had.
Sapphire, if you don't get that goofy brother of yours out of here, I'm going to kick him out myself.
Oh, quit complaining about Leroy. Why can't he stay here a while?
Of course, this is our home. When the preacher said you take this woman to be your lawful wedded wife, he didn't ask me to take the brother-in-law too, did he?
Listen, George, Leroy and me has always been specially close to each other. Why, he's part of me.
Well, when I kick Leroy out the house, I hope your part don't get hurt. That's all I
know. George, you shut up.
Now listen, Sapphire, how would you like to come home every day and find a no-good bum laying around the house?
Well, what you think I've been doing for 22 years? And I want to tell you, my brother is going to stay here.
And I say he's going to get out.
Now, wait a minute. I'll tell you what we'll do.
What?
George, let's write a letter to Lena Dixon, the woman that's running the new column in the daily paper, giving advice on family trouble.
Nothing doing. We writ her a letter when she first started that column last week, and she answered the thing in your favor. She's all for the women's side of the argument.
I want you to know that Lena Dixon is unbiased.
I don't care what her nationality is. I ain't going right to the women.
You're afraid to write to Lena Dixon because you know she'd tell you you're wrong about my brother.
Now listen, Sapphire, forget Lena Dixon and her advice to married couples. I'm going down to my office now and take a nap for a couple hours. Then I'm going over to the pool hall and shoot some pool this afternoon. When I come home tonight, I don't want to find no bum in the house.
Come in, Kingfish.
Oh, hello, Henry. That Liz a no-good brother-in-law of mine is staying at my house, and I can't stand him. Nobody likes him.
Yes, I admit he is quite abdominal.
Them in-laws gets me down.
Me too, Kingfish. I had my mother-in-law with us for 7 months, and she is very slobnoxious.
Yeah. I wish I could get Andy to give up his room so that Leroy could get it.
Well, can't you think of some scheme?
Well, of course, me with my innocent mind, I ain't much on schemes. But wait a minute, I just got an idea.
Yes, what is it?
You know, me and Andy went to a moving picture last night called The Kiss of Death.
Mm-hmm.
They made the whole thing right here in New York in a rooming house.
Yes, I heard that.
Maybe I could tell Andy that I is in the moving picture business and need his room for a picture.
Well, that's an excellent thought, Kingfish. You could even tell him that she's working for one of the Cecil B. DeMille's brothers.
Yeah, I got an old megaphone in the closet at the office, and I put on my old army puttees. I think I'll go over to Andy's room now and see what I can do.
Come in, Kingfish.
Yeah, well, don't bother about getting out of bed, Andy. I just want to look over your room here. Let me put my cap on backwards here. Now, let me look through my megaphone here and kind of size up the place.
What are you looking through that megaphone for?
Well, just working out a few camera angles here, Andy. Oh, I forgot. You ain't heard about my new job. I was in the moving picture business now, as we say in the high-class circles, the cinnamon.
Well, what you doing up here in my room?
Well, you remember that picture we see the other night that was made in a rooming house here in New York?
Yeah.
Well, they was making another one just like it, and I was the location scout in charge of looking up rooms to take the pictures in, you see.
No fooling. What is the name of the picture you're working on?
Oh, this is going to be one of them big Hollywood epidemics. It's a real extravaganza, all right. They call it The Return of Devil's Island.
You mean they want my room for Devil's Island picture?
Yeah, I figured we could use it for one of the cells.
You think this place could pass for a cell?
Oh, provided we clean it up a little bit, yeah, we could.
Well, wait a minute, I don't know if I want my room in the moving picture or not.
Oh, it's a big thing for you, Andy, old boy. We'll even give you credit on the screen. You know, it always says gowns by Adrian and makeup by Westmore. Yeah, well, on this picture, it'll say dirty room by Andrew H. Brown.
Hey, you know something? That might not be a bad deal to have them shoot a moving picture right in my room. What happened in here?
Well, in the big scene, Andy, a fellow is locked up in here in solitary confinement. He's tired and he's exhausted. He's laying on the bed there fighting off rats with his shoes.
Yeah, well, will they bring their own rats or use the ones I got here?
Oh, they'll bring their own. They want to use little rats, you see. They just want the little mice.
Well, wait a minute, Kingfish. This is beginning to sound a little fishy to me. Is you on the level with this picture stuff? What's the name of the company you working for?
The company, you is here to Monogram, ain't you?
Yeah.
Well, ours is called Initials. Initial Pictures. Incorporated.
Is it a big company?
A big company? They are so big that next week they're investigating Washington. That's what they're doing.
Tell me this, Kingfish. Does your company make any good pictures?
Well, last year in the Academy Awards, one of our pictures nearly got an Oscar Hammerstein. Oh, we were going there. Yeah.
Wait a minute, though. I don't believe nothing you're telling me. You know something? This all sounds fishy.
Listen, Andy, I'm going to tell you the truth. It sounds fishy to me, too. Yeah, Andy, I is desperate. I'm going to lay my cards right on the table here now and then turn them face up for you.
Yeah, do that.
I'm trying to get a room for that no-good brother of Sapphire's to staying with us.
Well, I figured you wasn't no movie man when I seen you looking through that megaphone. The thing didn't even have no lens in it.
Well, I got to do something to find a room for that brother-in-law of mine.
Yeah, well, it's tough to find a place.
I has walked from one end of New York to the other. And once today I said to myself,
my feet can't stand no more.
There's only one thing left for you. Stop walking. Start riding. Why don't you swing down, sweet chariot, stopping, let me ride. Swing down, chariot, stopping, let me ride. Rock me, Lord, come and easy. I've got a home on the other side. Why don't you swing down, sweet chariot? Swing down, chariot, stopping, let me ride. Rock me, Lord, come and easy. I've got a home on the other side.
Well, Ezekiel was out in the middle of a field. He saw an angel working on a chariot wheel. Wasn't too particular about the chariot wheel. Just wanted to see how a chariot feels.
Why don't you swing, oh, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Swing, oh, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home.
Well, Ezekiel went down, he got on board. The chariot went stomping on down the road. Wasn't so particular about stomping down the road. Just wanted to lay down his heavy load.
Why don't you swing down, sweet chariot, stopping, let me ride. Swing down, chariot, stopping, let me ride. Rock me, Lord, come and easy. I've got a home on the other side. On the other side, I've got my home.
I've got a home on the other side.
If I could just make it in.
Amos and Andy will be back in just a moment. But now a word from our good friend, Bert Wheeler.
Ever since clothes were first invented, women have had to wash them. Years ago, you know, they used to soak them in a brook and bang them with rocks to get them clean. Then some bright guy figured out how to make soap and revolutionized wash day. Well, there have been all kinds of soap since that first crude discovery. But today there's a new soap on the market that makes every other wash day soap seem as out of date as that old Brook and Rock routine. That soap is New Rinso with Solium, the amazing sunlight ingredient. New Rinso with Solium actually washes white things whiter than brand new and makes colored washables look brighter than brand new. That's what I said, whiter than new, brighter than new. And only New Rinso with Solium, that sunlight ingredient, can do those two things. No other soap can even claim to do them because no other soap contains sodium. Well, you want that kind of a wash, whiter and brighter than new? Say New Rinso to your dealer tomorrow.
What's the idea of coming down to my office and bothering me?
Well, George, I done made up my mind. I'm going to write a letter to this newspaper columnist, Lena Dixon, and ask her opinion about whether Leroy ought to stay or not.
Well, now, you wait a minute. Don't write to Lena Dixon. Just give me a little more time. I was out all morning trying to find a room for that no-good bum Leroy. He got to get out of our house.
Well, he may be a bum, but he ain't as big a bum as you is. And I think he ought to stay.
Yeah, well, I think the bum ought to get out.
Well, if you feel that way, why don't you put it up to him?
All right, I will. What did you think of it, Leroy?
Well, you both got your points, but I think I'll stay.
Well, that settles it. I'm going shopping. I'll see you back at the house later.
So long, sister dear.
Leroy, now that we is alone, I want to have a little friendly chat with you. I'm going to talk to you like a Dutch oven.
What's on your mind, brother?
Leroy, there's a great opportunity in California for you. Remember that great statesman, Horace Greeley, that said, "Go rest, young man, go rest"?
Why would he say a thing like that?
Well, he uttered them words when his brother-in-law moved in on him, I think.
If I didn't know you better, Kingfish, I think you trying to get rid of me.
Come in, Gabby.
Hi, Kingfish. Hi there,
let that laughing hyena out here. Will you get on out there?
So long. See you later.
So long.
I just stopped by to say hello, Kingfish.
Yeah, glad you dropped by, Gabby.
You look a little down in the mouth, Kingfish. What's the matter with you?
Oh, this thing of living in the house with my brother-in-law has gotten me down.
You know one thing, I had a brother-in-law who lived with me once for 15 years, and I just treated him with kindness, I gave him the best food and let him wear all my clothes. And for the whole 15 years, I gave him $10 a week spending money. $10 a week.
I'll bet he'll never forget you for it.
No, indeed. I'll say he didn't. He saved up $10,000, bought the apartment house we was living in, and had me evicted.
Tell me this, how is I going to get my brother-in-law out of the house, Gabby?
Very simple, Kingfish, very simple. Make him think it's dangerous around your house. Scare the man. Go ahead and scare him.
How?
Wait a minute, I got it. Tell him you got a rare tropical disease, and he's allowed to catch it.
Yeah, I'll tell him that I got something like that. Come to think of it, Andy ain't met Leroy yet. I'll get Andy to play like he's a doctor and come in at just the right time.
Well, I got to be going, Kingfish. I had a busy day down at the Bureau of Vital Statistics. I found out that right now there's one woman for every man in the country. I think that's bad. It's going to put a lot of men out of work. They say in 1950 there's going to be 2 women for every man. I think that's very bad, too. That's very bad. If this keeps up, someday there's going to be 4 women for every man. Just think of it. 4 women for every man.
Well, what did you think of that?
Lovely.
Come in, Leroy.
Hi, Kingfish. Sapphire said she wouldn't be home in time to cook supper. She said you'd fix it for me.
Yeah. Well, let's sit down here a minute and read the paper. You see, Leroy, Leroy, does you feel sort of a hot wind blowing through here like you got in the tropics?
No, I don't. Matter of fact, I think it's a little chilly.
Well, I guess it's just like I thought then. My old trouble is coming back on me.
What's that, Kingfish?
Oh, nothing. Just a slight touch of the bubonic plague.
Bubonic plague?
Yes, you know, it's one of them rare tropical diseases that scares people so much.
Kingfish, that sounds serious to me.
Yeah, I got it all right. I is what medical science calls a common carrier. You know how people get them tropical diseases from mosquitoes biting them?
Yeah?
Well, I is the one that gives it to the mosquitoes. You see, I contracted the stuff when I was helping Teddy Roosevelt dig the Panama Canal.
Is this thing you got contagious?
Yeah, oh, me. What I need is a doctor. I say what I need is a doctor.
Excuse me, I's a doctor. Anybody around here suffer from rare tropical disease?
Oh, doctor, I was glad you just happened to be passing. I was having one of my spells, doctor.
Yeah, well, maybe I can help you. I only specializes in tropical diseases.
Kingfish, is this a good doctor?
Is he a good doctor? Why, he served his internship at that big hospital in Baltimore, Johns Mansville. One of the stocks you ever saw.
Oh, yes, sir. I spent 2 full weeks there learning medicine.
He can hit you with a hypodermic needle and make you jump 2 feet, can't you, son?
I get him every time.
Doctor, I tell you what I wish you'd do. I got a spell here. Look in my eyes and see if the symptom is there. Is my eyes dilated?
Yeah, it is, all right.
Tell me, is this thing you got contagious, Kingfish?
Yes, that's the bad part of it, Doctor. Maybe you better look at his eyes, too, while you're doing it. Look over there.
Okay. Yeah, his is annihilated, too.
Well, I tell you what, I know a lot about this disease. Maybe I can help you there, Leroy. I'll tell you what you do. I can tell by your tongue. Stick out your tongue once.
Ah!
Looks pretty bad, all right, now. Now turn it over, will you?
Kingfish, I can't turn it over.
Yeah, well, what do you think, Doctor?
It sounds like rigor mortis of the tongue to me. Yeah, this is a clear case of the bluebonnet plague.
Yeah, that's the bluebonnet.
Oh, me? This is terrible. I wonder why Sapphire never caught the disease from you all these years.
Well, I'm going to explain that to you, Leroy. Your sister is very lucky. She can't catch it. Sapphire is what is known in medical circles as an antiseptic. She's got mercurochrome in her blood. That's what she got.
Oh, yeah. The germs jumped on her once, and they jumped right back off again. Ain't that right, Doctor?
You was the doctor, yeah.
I guess I was talking to myself there, yeah.
Oh, me. I'm worried about myself, Doctor. What you think I ought to do?
Well, I think you ought to get out this house as quick as you can. That's what I think.
Leroy, you ought to go down to the Board of Health and get them to throw some lime on you.
Yeah.
I'm getting out of here. Goodbye.
And they put it there. It worked, boy.
Oh, yeah. He really got out of here fast.
Oh, that goofy brother-in-law of mine won't stop running till he hits the freight yards.
George, it's 10 o'clock and Leroy ain't been here all evening. I wonder where he's at.
Well, I don't know, honey, unless he decided to go away somewhere.
George, there's something fishy about this, and I think you're at the bottom of it.
Oh, no, honey, you know that I wouldn't do nothing to...
Look, George, it's Leroy.
Yeah, well, what you doing back... who that gentleman with you there?
I'm from the Board of Health, and I'm going to quarantine your brother-in-law and your wife in this house, and you come into the hospital for a few days to be put under observation.
Oh.
Miracles do happen occasionally, I guess. Maybe the Kingfisher scheme will work out this time. But before we return to Amos and Andy, here is Barrett Wheeler.
I have to believe in miracles because so many of you ladies say you see them come to pass on wash day, the first time you try new Rinso with Solium. You see clothes that are dulled and yellowed by repeated washings with ordinary soap come out white and bright and beautiful the first time the new Rinso suds hit them. And each time they're washed, you see them get progressively whiter and brighter. Then you see them get to that peak of washing perfection which only new Rinso can give. Only new Rinso with Solium, that sunlight ingredient, can do these two things. Wash white clothes whiter than brand new and make washable colors look brighter than brand new. No other soap can even claim to do them because no other soap contains Solium. So tell your dealer, new Rinso.
Hello there, Stonewall.
Well, come in, Kingfish. Where you been?
I've been in the hospital under observation for 3 days.
Oh, they think you're a little balmy in the head, huh?
No, this is a long story. I really got a problem, boy.
I got a problem, too, you know. I've been working on a big case myself, Kingfish. See, about 6 months ago, the railroad notified one of my clients that they was going to lay some railroad tracks across his property.
They did, huh?
Yeah, but I advised my client to ignore the railroad because they couldn't do it. So today I brought a doctor into the case.
Oh, why?
Well, this morning the freight train hit my client while he was walking to the bathroom.
Stonewall, my problem is that my brother-in-law, Leroy, is staying with me, and I can't stand around the house no more.
Yeah, I'd hate to have a brother-in-law in with me and my wife. You know, the best way to get rid of him is to trick him. Tell Leroy that some important business just come up in Georgia and ask him if he is able to fly south immediately.
Yeah, well, what does that do if he say he is able to fly south?
Push him out the window and let him try.
Oh, no. Sapphire would never let me do that to a brother.
Well, you always got to remember, Kingfish, blood is thicker than water.
Yeah, well, what's that got to do with it?
I don't know, but in case you ever get a transfusion, don't let them give you no water.
My wife wants to get advice from Lena Dixon.
I got an idea, Kingfish.
What's that?
Let Sapphire write Lena Dixon. You take the letter to mail and replace her letter with one from yourself, see? Saying that your brother-in-law, Leroy, is a psychopathic case. Non-compass menace and ought to get out.
Say, that's a great idea, Stonewall. I'll switch letters on the way. Or you certainly know how to give advice.
Oh, yeah. You know, Kingfish, once a woman said to me that her husband was a big bum and neglected her all the time.
Yeah, did you advise her?
Yeah. I told her that she ought to go out dancing with other men for 3 weeks in a row.
Yeah, how'd it turn out?
Not so good. See, it gets pretty lonesome sitting around the house by myself every night.
Tell me, Kingfish, why is we going in here to the newspaper office this early in the morning?
Well, I told my wife to write the columnist Lena Dixon, and before I had a chance to switch the letters last night, my wife mailed it. And I won't get in the mail room and switch letters by getting that one back and putting this one I got in my pocket in the place of it before it gets to Lena Dixon, you see.
Oh, yeah. I see what you're doing, yeah.
Yeah, now don't forget how I told you to act. Come on, let's go in the newspaper office here and get back where the mail... just follow me now.
Yeah, I was right behind you.
Hey, where do you guys think you're going? Only newspaper men are allowed back there. You'll liable to get in trouble.
Trouble? Mister, we is newspaper men. I am Scoop Stevens, and this is Flash Brown. Say something, Flash.
So long. I'll be back in a flash.
Wait a minute. Come here, wait a minute.
How come I never heard of you birds around here before?
Yeah, well, now, I go explain that to you. That's because we is foreign correspondents, like Lowell Thomas.
Yeah, and H.B. Calcimine.
Yeah.
So you're foreign correspondents. What are you doing back in America?
Well, now, there's a question you asked us there, and that's a good question, yeah. Ain't it, Flash?
Yeah, sure is.
We just returned from Paris. We spent years over there so we could get a feature story on France.
Mm-hmm. Just what did you find out about France?
The place is show packed with foreigners, all right. Is that right, Flash?
Oui, Signor.
Paris. Familiar with Paris, eh?
Yeah.
Tell me, how is Rudy LePay?
Oh, fine. He's married now and got 3 children. Yeah.
No. Rudy LePay is a street.
Oh, the street. Oh, yes, well, that's still there, yeah.
Oh, sure. We know Paris backwards.
Yeah, we went up the main street there one day and we see the Triumph d'Arc there.
That's Arc de Triomphe.
Well, that's what he meant. We know it's Paris backwards, you see.
Excuse me, I got to answer the phone.
Yeah, go right ahead. Come on, Andy, quick. Come on, follow me.
Right with you.
Yeah. Here's the mail room right here. Now, let's look in these different boxes. Here we is. Here's Lena Dixon's mailbox. We're lucky. She ain't got a mail yet.
Yeah, can you find it?
Wait a minute. Yeah, here it is right here. Here's the letter. Now, I'll take this letter out, and I'll put my letter in there.
Yeah.
Oh, boy, this is working great.
Yeah, well, come on. Let's get out of here.
Yeah, come on, quick, come on.
Hey, where you guys been?
Viva la France.
Kingfish, you mean to say that you tore up the letter that Sapphire done writ to Lena Dixon and you wrote one yourself, huh? Yeah, that's exactly what I done, Amos, and my friend here, Andy, helped me out in the deal.
Yeah, and in the Kingfish's letter, he said that Leroy was a psychopathic, and on top of that, he didn't have no menace in his compass.
Yeah, you know, that's kind of a mean trick, Kingfish. Well, you got to pull them tricks on to get your brother-in-law out the house. I got to put something over on my wife now and then. Yeah, well, when is you expecting Lena Dixon to have your answer in the column? Well, this all happened about 2 days ago. Ought to be in the end of the day now. Well, I'll get on in the house here now. You boys like to come in? No, thank you. I think me and Andy will just keep going.
Yeah, Kingfish. Now you're going to have peace in the house from now on.
Well, thank you, Andy. So long, boys. Food train down you. Well, hello there, Sapphire. Hi, Leroy.
Hiya, Kingfish.
Come in, George. Me and Leroy is looking in the paper for Lena Dixon's column to see if she had our answer in.
No.
Oh, yeah, yes, she is right here.
Oh, that's great. In the paper today, huh? Read me the good news, honey.
I hope it's good for me, too.
Here it is. It say, Dear Mrs. G.S.
That's you, Mrs. George Stevens.
Say, in answer to your problem about the brother-in-law, in view of his condition, I feel that he should stay at your home so that he can have the care he needs from both you and your husband.
What?
Well, there you is, George. And you know, we agreed to abide by her decision. Leroy, you is staying.
Of all the silly and crazy answers, this Lena Dixon is the worst. Little do you know that I have been working on this thing for 3 days. Goodbye.
What you laughing about, sister?
Little do he know that I've been working at the newspaper as Lena Dixon for 2 weeks.
Andy the Kingfish sure talks mighty big and mighty loud. But that kind of talk don't always pay off.
No, you're right, Amos. Now take Bert Wheeler there. He talks soft, but he makes folks listen.
Well, that's because I have news that people want to hear. News about New Rinso, the only soap in the world that contains solium, that sunlight ingredient. The only soap in the world that can wash white clothes whiter than brand new and make washable colors look brighter than brand new. I'm not asking you to take my word for it. Let your own eyes be the judge. Just be sure you use New Rinso with solium. Your dealer has it for you now.
Good night, folks.
See you next Tuesday.